Ladies and gentlemen, we have just hit 1,000 subscribers. Nice little milestone there. So thanks a lot to everybody who's interested in the Urantia book, this revelation, this masterpiece of wisdom, knowledge, and most importantly, spiritual uplift, because that is what it is all about. The fifth epochal revelation. There's only been 5 on the planet. We can have auto-revelations to ourselves when our spirit fragment communicates with us directly. When we reach a certain level, have that mind of perfect poise housed in a body of clean habits with stabilized neural energies, we can have these auto-revelations. And I'm sure many of you have, as being spiritual people, spiritually minded individuals. But the book is unearned knowledge for the entire planet. And I've had an auto-revelation before, and it was the most profound thing that's ever happened to me. Way more profound than this entire book, because it was literally happening within me. And I can't put that into words, though. This book is able to give the words to what that is, the best that words can be. I'm not at this level. As you'll see, this reading, I couldn't write at this level. There's no way that I could write at this level. But remember, it's not just about the words and the facts and this and then that. It's about taking them and putting them into action. So, in all of this, spiritual uplift, remember, it's a service-oriented type of spiritual presentation. So, no matter what the different facts is, no matter how we vary, depending on what you want to believe, if it's a Bible or if it's a this or a that, the main important thing is that love for your fellow humans, stopping yourself before you throw shade at someone else and saying, all right, well, let them do their thing. We can agree to disagree, that sort of thing. That masterful mediation. So we're looking at the local universe mother spirit, and let's just dive in, okay? Let's just go here. The local universe mother spirit. When a creator son is personalized by the universal Father and the eternal Son, then does the infinite spirit individualize a new and unique representation of himself to accompany this creator son to the realms of space, there to be his companion, first in physical organization and later in creation and ministry to the creatures of the newly projected universe. So, we're dealing with the eternal Trinity here, right? You got the universal Father and the eternal Son. Those two create an offspring, which is called a creator son. A creator son is able to create local universes, which will have projected of 10 million inhabited worlds. And there's 700,000 local universes, which would equal, when everything is said and done, 7 trillion, or no, I'm sorry, 7 trillion? Yeah, 7 trillion inhabited worlds when it's all said and done. Our local universe only has 3.5 million inhabited only out of 10 million so far. So this is time that we're dealing with here. This isn't eternity. These are the creations of time and space. So the Father and the Son create the creator son, but then the third person in the Trinity, the infinite spirit, creates what is to be known as a local universe mother spirit. And that daughter of God is to partner with this creator son of God to administer to these local universes. So if you're looking for why is it always Godfather, this here it is, mother, okay? Not only that, but the eternal Son is more mother-like as well. They just use the word son. So a creative spirit reacts to both physical and spiritual realities. So does a creator son. Now that's capitalized. When you see creative spirit, that is the local universe mother spirit. They have different various names. And thus are the coordinate and associate in the administration of the local universe of time and space. These daughter spirits are the essence of the infinite spirit, but they cannot function in the work of physical creation and spiritual ministry simultaneously. In physical creation, the universe Son provides the pattern, while the universe Spirit initiates the materialization of physical realities. The Son operates in the power designs, but the Spirit transforms these energy creations into physical substances. Although it is somewhat difficult to portray this early universe presence of the infinite Spirit as a person, nevertheless, to the Creator Son, the Spirit associate is personal and has always functioned as a distinct individual. So, look at the interdependence. It's important to note, even at the biggest scale, the universe is set up on cooperation and an interdependency. So our lives, too, are a pattern of that. And as they say, no man or woman is an island. Personalization of the creative spirit. After the completion of the physical organization of a starry and planetary cluster, and the establishment of the energy circuits by the super-universe power centers, subsequent to this preliminary work of creation by the agencies of the infinite spirit, operating through and under the direction of his local universe creative focalization, there goes forth the proclamation of the Michael Sun. That is the order of Michael, which all of these local universe creator sons are from. They're all named Michael, 700,000 of them. That life is next to be projected in the newly organized universe. Upon the Paradise recognition of this declaration of intention, there occurs a reaction of approval in the Paradise Trinity, followed by the disappearance in the spiritual shining of the deities of the Master Spirit. That's a different type of being. The 7 Master Spirits are even beyond the Creator Son, in whose super universe this new creation is organizing. Meanwhile, the other Master Spirits draw near this central lodgment of Paradise deities, and subsequently, when the deity-embraced Master Spirit emerges to the recognition of his fellows, there occurs what is known as a primary eruption. This is a tremendous spiritual flash, and they might even call that the Big Bang in the scientific thing. Look, it's saying it's a phenomenon clearly discernible as far away as the headquarters of the super universe is concerned. So it's this huge event, and simultaneously with the little understood Trinity manifestation, there occurs a marked change in the nature of the creative spirit presence and power of the infinite spirit resident in the local universe concerned. In response to these paradise phenomena, there immediately personalizes, in the very presence of the Creator Son, a new personal representation of the infinite spirit. So you see, that's how the third aspect of the Trinity they call the conjoint actor. And so this is the conjoint actor's presence in the local universe is tied to the local universe mother spirit. And that is also the circuit of mind. And the Father being the circuit of personality, the Son being the circuit of spirit. The third person of the Trinity is the circuit of mind. The individual creative spirit helper of the Creator Son has become his personal creative associate, the local universe mother spirit. So we're talking about, look at personal beings can love and be loved. It's not like gravity. You wouldn't want to have I'm dating gravity. This way you can have these personal loving relationships with these beings. From and through this new personal segregation of the conjoint creator, then proceed the established currents and the ordained circuits of spirit power and spiritual influence destined to pervade all the worlds. So that includes this one. And beings, right here and right now, folks. This isn't just in a book. This is we're swimming through this reality right now, that this local universe creative mother spirit is all around us. The female aspect of deity and divinity. In reality, this new and personal presence is but a transformation of the pre-existent and less personal associate of the Son in his earlier work. See, the character of the mother spirit becomes more personal. At first, it's more like a spirit entity type of thing, but then it becomes a more personalized physical organization. This is the relation of a stupendous drama in few words, but it represents about all that can be told regarding these momentous transactions. They are instantaneous, see, Big Bang type stuff, inscrutable. We're talking origins of the universe here. and incomprehensible. The secret of the technique then, scientists will search for 1,000,000,001 years, and they will never find what we just read here in these 3 paragraphs. And if we have a leap of faith, which I admit that that's what it takes to read this and say, okay, well, that must be how the Big Bang started, then we can just know that in 1 paragraph. And we can ride on that faith. And hey, remember, a wise man or woman lives by what truth they can find today, wholly ready to call it falsehood tomorrow. If there's another point that comes that there's a new revelation about how this happens, then we are open to that. But, why rack your brain about trying to figure out? I mean, go for it and do it. But after 1 billion years of hitting your material head on the wall, the materialist would at some point have to say, okay, well, let's open up our hearts and let's look for another example. And all these people that maybe they referred to as just spiritualist, religionist, or, simple-minded people that are looking for pleasant answers, then maybe let's say, hey, geez, these simpletons were right. These simpletons were right all along. It really is a spiritual origin of the Big Bang. This is the relation, blah, blah, blah. Here we go. The secret technique and procedure resides in the bosom of Paradise Trinity. Of only one thing we are certain: the spirit presence in the local universe during the time of purely physical creation or organization was incompletely differentiated from the spirit of the Paradise Infinite Spirit, okay? Whereas after the reappearance of the supervising Master Spirit, okay, so see, it's the Mother Spirit here is making her change. First, she's just like this extension of the Infinite Spirit, but then the Master Spirit supervises the secret embrace for the gods. And following the flash of spiritual energy, the local universe manifestation of the Infinite Spirit suddenly and completely changes to the personal likeness. Oops, I'm not doing too good on this whole scrolling thing. The Master Spirit, who is in transmuting liaison with the Infinite Spirit. The local universe Mother Spirit thus acquires a personal nature tinged by that of the Master Spirit of the super universe of astronomic jurisdiction. This personalized presence of the Infinite Spirit, right? So now it's become a personalized thing after this. See the importance of the Master Spirit in there. There's 7 Master Spirits, 1 for each super universe. The created Mother Spirit of the local universe is known in Satania as the Divine Minister. That's another name. To all practical intents and spiritual purpose, this manifestation of deity is a divine individual, a spirit person, and she is so recognized and regarded by the Creator Son. It is through this localization and personalization of the third source and center in our local universe that the Spirit could subsequently become so fully subject to the Creator Son that of this Son it was truly said, all power in heaven and on earth has been entrusted to him. So, it is through this localization of the third source and center in our local universe that the Spirit could subsequently become so fully subject. Okay? So, they're saying that it seems as if the Creator's Son, in fact, is the I guess is the not the subject. What's the object of the? I don't know what I'm trying to say here. It's like the third person, the third source and center, which is the third aspect of the Trinity, needed to be subject to the Creator's Son in the universe, in the local universe. So he personalized in the form of this Mother Spirit so that the Creator's Son could, be the top dog of the local universe. And, because the Trinity is in paradise. So there's this stepping down, I would say, of Trinity personalizations. Nature of the Divine Minister. Having undergone marked personality metamorphosis at the time of life creation, the Divine Minister thereafter functions as a person and cooperates in a very personal manner with the Creator Son and planning and management. See, we can understand that stuff. It'd be like you and I were starting a business, and how will we personalize? I mean, I'm sure it's levels that we can't fully, but we can understand the basis of this cooperation here, of the extensive affairs of their local creation. To many universe types of beings, even this representation of infinite spirit may not appear to be wholly personal during the ages preceding the final Michael bestowal, but subsequent to the elevation of the Creator's Son to the sovereign authority of a Master Son, that's after 7 bestowals, which Jesus was the 7th. That's how they attain sovereignty, by bestowing and becoming part of their creation 7 times. The creative Mother Spirit becomes so augmented in personal qualities as to be personally recognized by all contacting individuals. So at a certain point, we will, know this being, like in person, and not just a spiritual thing that we can kind of feel around us. From the earliest association with the Creator Son in the universe, possesses all physical control attributes of the infinite spirit, including the full endowment of anti-gravity. Upon the attainment of personal status, the universe spirit exerts just as full and complete control of mind gravity. Now that's interesting to note, how this mind gravity is a circuit in the local universe, as would the infinite spirit if personally present. That's how people can tap into the universal mind and attain facts that they hadn't read in a book and that sort of thing. It's mind, gravity is a force, I believe. And so you can think of mind as being the same way. It responds. It's responsive to basically laws of physics, but they're super physics. Okay. In each local universe, the divine minister functions in accordance with the nature and inherent characteristics of the infinite spirit as embodied in one of the 7 master spirits of paradise. While there is a basic uniformity of character in the universe spirits, there is also a diversity of function determined by their origin through one of the 7 master spirits. The differential of origin accounts for the diverse techniques in the function of the local universe mother spirits in different super universes. But in all essential spiritual attributes, these spirits are identical, equally spiritual and wholly divine, irrespective of super universe differentiation. So it's a different flavor of divinity, basically. The creative spirit, we're trying to remember, deity and divinity is trying to cover all of their bases here. That's why there's 7 different super universe. Each one of the super universe has its own flavor. Our super universe is marked by the character of mercy. That is what we are known for in the larger creation. And so that's why rebellions and things like that on our world are allowed to play out in their full extent. And there's so much mercy giving to the leaders of these rebellions. And so that's why we look around and say, why is the world the way that it is? Well, it's because so much mercy was extended to these leaders of rebellion. And in doing so, you're going to depart from the smooth functioning of things. But in their wisdom, they know that that flash of time of the apparent evil on our world is already yielding great spiritual fruits. And even beings like us, we have a special title, which is called a Gondanter. And we can believe without seeing. We can persevere when isolated. You and I, the people that are interested in things like reading about this. This is such a faith walk. A regular, normal, not normal, but an abnormal person would look at this and say, geez, you're believing in God and things? Why? You guys should be spending your time on money. That's the real God of this world. Why are you dwelling on something that might not be real, right? But we know in our hearts what truth is. And we know that spirituality is a reality. And so we could persevere when isolated. And we have this faith. We don't need to see to believe. And we will carry that title with us as we go throughout all of the future universes in our ascension plan, all the way back up to paradise. And when they need an individual that can persevere when isolated to be sent to some, backward sphere or world or whatever to do some sort of administration or teaching mission or something, they'll look for a Gondanter. And they'll say, geez, this person was on Urantia, the most dark, twisted planet in the universe. And I know it's not all that way, but the world system of things is that way. They were able to they're learning about the local universe mother spirit, even in that dark and isolated time. So there, we can see that we're special beings in that sense. Now, I'm going to skip ahead here a little bit. There's an interesting thing, the sun and the spirit in time and space. The sun can transcend, I believe it's time, and the mother spirit can transcend space, but they can't do both. So they have this interdependency that they need with each other, and together they can transcend time and space. But only one of them can only do one of those characteristics. Here, remember, we talked about circuits are very important. Circuits aren't just electronic things. They're things like the mind circuit, cosmic mind, this interrelation, this web that people experience when they have a Kundalini awakening and they say, oh, I wasn't a single point of consciousness anymore. They're experiencing the cosmic mind circuit. Now, this ministry, look at this. Mortal man first experiences the ministry of the spirit in conjunction with mind when the purely animal mind of evolutionary creatures, think of your Cro-Magnon man, just coming up, develops receptive capacity for the adjutants of worship and wisdom. So once they have those receptive capacity, they're no longer animals anymore. They can do worship. Animals aren't contemplating whether or not they're going to worship God. This ministry of the 6th and 7th adjutants, mind, spirit, these are beings. These adjutants are beings that are responsible for things. They're like the essence of wisdom, the essence of worship, and that sort of thing. Indicate mind evolution crossing the threshold of spiritual ministry. So now it's just not a functioning mind like your animal has. Now you need a spiritual minister. And immediately are such minds of worship and wisdom function included in the spiritual circuits of the divine minister. So now, look at this, immediately. There's a spiritual circuit of the divine minister, folks. So that this is the closest thing that I can relate a Kundalini awakening to. I don't even know if I'm saying it right, but I've had it. And it does feel like your mind you're not a single point of consciousness anymore. You literally feel like you're on a network of mind. And that's why, in the Eastern, they talk about consciousness as being everywhere and all pervasive and that sort of thing, because that's what they experience. But it's really part of this mind circuit of the divine minister, cosmic mind. So this paper is so interesting. We're going to spend the next two probably videos on these two papers. The spirit in man and woman, obviously, and the spirit and the flesh, because it's going into all these like deep things about the 7 spirits of God and how the universe is created and things like that. And then the Urantia book does all this beautifully. And then it just buries in here on page 380 these very searing, very personally relevant to our plight here on this planet, about how we have these various natures of, why are we so tempted for all these alluring things, even though they harm us, our poisonous foods, our drugs, our alcohol, okay? So you're thinking that you're just getting hit with all this cosmology about the starts of the universe, and then it's just like, boom. And that's why this book is a faith walk. You're reading all these stuff, maybe even 10, 20 pages of things that don't seem like they're pertinent to right now. And then you have these aha moments that they literally just pocket in here and bury in here. And it really might not even mention the universe mother spirit during this thing. So anyways, folks, amazing book. Got to check this thing out in person. It's just really, I suggest even getting a nice hardcover copy. You know, if you're a spiritual person, you're interested in books and learning and spirituality, you are going to be blown away. All right, so thanks again. 1,000 subs. Keep the ball rolling here, folks, and we'll see you in the next video.